I'm sorry to miss what I'm sure will be an interesting meeting on an issue that deserves more attention than it normally gets. I'm a psychologist, so my remarks will be about a topic I know little about, the psychology of luck. The point I wish to make is that humans, including successful scientists, operate with minds that appear to be designed to minimize the role of luck. When we think of serendipity, what comes to mind are fortunate surprises that open opportunities and have long-term beneficial effects. But our concept of surprise is quite narrow, and by no means exhausts the role of luck in success stories, our own and those of others. We know what it means to say that an event is expected. For example, that my remarks will end within about 10 minutes or less. We also know what it means to say that an event is surprising. But most of the events in our lives are neither expected nor surprising. They're simply normal. At any one moment, many different things could happen that would not surprise us. For example, you don't know what my next sentence will be, and the sentence I'm saying now does not surprise you. And if I had said you don't know what my next sentence will be, but you have a pretty good idea that it's going to be about serendipity, that would not have surprised you either. And of course, it is easy to think of other sentences that would be normal, but the sentence "men had walked on the moon" is not. So, normal events are not specifically expected, but they make perfect sense after the fact, and they fit into the narrative that the mind constructs continuously. Note, however, that whenever a normal event happens, the cloud of normal alternative that did not occur becomes insignificant. With rare exceptions, only the events that did occur are included in the story. But of course, some of the unsurprising counterfactual alternatives could easily have led to drastically different outcomes. So the association between luck and surprises leads to a drastic underestimation of the role of chance. Normal events are normal because they make sense in their context. But this sense-making occurs after the fact, in hindsight. Events evoke their own explanation. Hindsight occurs because our perception of the past changes to fit what we have just learned. I like the example of two well-matched soccer teams playing a match. Now suppose that one of the teams crushes the other 5-0. Obviously, one of the teams now appears much stronger than the other. And that team was surely stronger yesterday as well. Furthermore, we're disposed to think that we suspected that yesterday already. It is easy to forget that the teams once appeared equally strong. This is how we construct the narrative of life. In a good story, consequences retrospectively appear inevitable, but this is mostly an illusion. Which leads, of course, to further underestimating the role of luck in life. Now, one of the main findings of psychology in recent decades is that the causal narrative that our mind constructs about people's actions and consequences is strongly biased in favor of attributing causation to agents. We tend to explain consequences by enduring characteristics of the hero of the story, be it myself or someone else. Indeed, the inference of traits from consequences is immediate and almost irresistible. For example, the extraordinary success of Google or Apple is most naturally explained by the character of their founders and leaders. We rarely think of the luck involved in the timing of inventions, and even more rarely think of events that could have derailed the outcome, but did not. For example, Larry Page and Sergey Brin are where they are because they rejected an offer of $750,000 for their firm when they would have accepted $1 million for it. They also are where they are because others did not get the PageRank idea first, which could easily have happened. Like many others, I suppose, I believed most of my life that people, especially scientists, eventually get what they deserve. I even used to believe, like many others, that people make their own luck. But these beliefs are probably false. If people are radically biased towards exaggerating the role of agents and minimizing the role of luck. Talent and character are certainly necessary for high achievement, but they are very, very far from being sufficient. The powerful bias prevents us from giving adequate credit to luck, and I believe this bias can be especially pernicious because of the positive feedback loop that exists in academic success. In particular, I believe that there is an element of lottery at the very beginning of careers, where people are accepted to graduate school or get jobs. This lottery has lifelong consequences, and I believe that there is justification for special efforts to recognize talent and character among those who lost that lottery. There may be ways to reduce the large impact of initial bad luck on the careers of people who could have been highly successful. Perhaps we need something that resembles affirmative action for the unlucky. There, but for the grace of luck, go all of us. Thank you.